Oliver Anthony, as we know, does things his way, whether that be traditional or non-traditional, however he comes about it, it's going to be done the Oliver Anthony way. And he has been very successful doing it that way ever since Men North of Richmond went super viral for him, really put him on the map. He's been shooting through the ranks of country music, out on a world tour. He's just taken it all by storm, and he's doing it independently. And today, we have learned more news from Oliver Anthony in the most Oliver Anthony way, because he is surprising everyone with something that we didn't really see coming. I don't think anyone did. We knew it was coming, but not as soon as we are going to get it. Oliver Anthony has now revealed today that his debut album will be released right around the corner this Sunday on Easter Sunday. Everyone out there can expect Oliver Anthony's debut album. Now, before we get to what Oliver Anthony had to say about the debut album, which was very emotional and deep, the message that we got from him today, I want to take you back to several weeks ago when he first announced that he was working on this album. He said he doesn't cry often, but this record, it got to him emotionally, and you can tell that there has been a lot of effort put into this, and I think we're going to get something truly special for Oliver. Just 11 weeks ago, he shared the photo that you can see off to the left here and wrote, "Today I started recording my first album in an old church in Georgia. I don't cry very often, but I have this week. This is such an incredible opportunity. I have been so blessed to be given the chance to share my music with the world. I pray that these songs will help people get through the hard days to come. I love y'all. I won't let you down." As we know, Oliver Anthony is a very spiritual person. He presents and brings his faith into his live performances, reading from the Bible. I think there is going to be somewhat of a spiritual experience with this album because, again, some of the things that he shares, just in how the listener should take the opportunity to listen this album, maybe isolated or really take in the lyrics. I think this is going to be a very, very deep-rooted album for Oliver, and what a statement to make on a debut album. So let's share what he had to say today about the record. First, I present to you the album title, Hymnal of a Troubled Man's Mind. Very cool looking photo here from Oliver shared. I like the album cover, looks extremely good. And honestly, the title of this album, it just already kind of hits you in the feels lyrically with what you see. Hymnal of a Troubled Man's Mind really gets you going, gets the brain thinking. And again, I think it's going to be a very deep-rooted, emotional album. But I like the cover art. Looks great. So here's what Oliver had to say. "Hymnal of a Troubled Man's Mind is the story of my life from 2013 until 2023. It is intended for the listener to sit down in a quiet place, undistracted, and just listen beginning to end. Every lyric, every note, and everything is intentionally placed. This album represents the most pure and transparent view inside my heart and soul that I could offer. While Richmond was the song that got my name out in the public, these songs represent the true foundation of the music that got me through life up until now. In sort of a beautiful and crazy way, nearly all the songs that people listen to outside of the Radio WV session from August of 2023, that's the video and session that was shared to Radio WV's YouTube channel, Men North of Richmond. He continues there and says, are those Android recordings I recorded almost immediately after writing each song in 2022 to 2023. He concludes by saying, I felt that it was my responsibility to give a handful of my early written songs the completion they deserve, which is really cool because none of that stuff that we were hearing with Radio WV was really mastered in any way. There wasn't much of a full sound from a band, but we are going to have more of a fuller sound of musical instruments on this album for Oliver. It's just going to be such a different experience, and I'm excited to hear it. I think you guys should be too. So it's cool that he's going back into his catalog and giving those songs brand new life. Finally, now I can begin releasing my most recent work without feeling like I skipped an important step. Hymnal of a Troubled Man's Mind, available Easter Sunday. Oliver took to the comments as well, where he appreciated everyone's patience on the record, which really, it seems like it was a long time, but from the announcement period of when we knew we were getting one to now, I would say it's a pretty quick turnaround for Oliver, and he's crushing it right now. But he writes, I appreciate everyone's patience up until this point. I've gotten a lot of stuff done the last 3 or 4 months. Time for me to go back to focusing on getting new music out. Draven from Radio WV is coming down at the beginning of April to film the next series of brand new stuff. You'll be getting this album and a lot more in a short period of time. You know, I saw a comment earlier today on something we had shared on our Instagram about how they forgot about Oliver Anthony. Well, I think that is a wrong decision to make, to forget about him or even imply that you did, because the guy is just getting started. We haven't gotten a debut album from him. We have not had any musical instrumentation into any of studio recordings, if you want to call it that, of what we've had so far. But coming off of this world tour that I've already referenced, it went phenomenal for him. And there is such a following for Oliver, and his music speaks directly to you, I feel. And I have a feeling anyone who believes that he's fallen off is going to be in for a real treat, because they're going to hop back on the Oliver Anthony train real fast. And this debut album, Hymnal of a Troubled Man's Mind, is definitely an album from this year that I cannot wait for. And again, it's on Oliver's terms, coming out on a Sunday, not a Friday, but Easter Sunday. And I don't really know if there's any better way or any better day for Oliver Anthony to release an album. That's your latest update here from CountryCast. Be sure to subscribe down below so you never miss out on any breaking news and updates.